maybe 3 more seconds. All right, everybody. I am live with Will Pujols. Very much anticipated interview for me. We've been talking about doing this interview since like last winter. So, Will, thank you so much again for coming on. We're talking a little bit off camera about how excited we are to do this, and it's a blessing to have you on. So, thank you so much.
Yeah, for sure, bro, man. Thanks for having me on. I know it's been a while, man, and I got caught up in a lot of work and a lot of things that I'm doing. I know that you've been like rocking it, bro. Like you've had a bunch of people on your stream. I've been watching your streams. I like what you're doing, man. I'm pulling for you because I know that if you consistently keep going the way that you're going, bro, you're gonna be huge. So hey, why not get on your stream before you get really big and then you don't even know who I am anymore?
Oh no, I promise you, brother. We'll always keep the connection, no matter how big I am. Like everybody I have on my podcast, I'm always gonna remember them for supporting me when I was like a little boy in the streaming industry. So I really appreciate it.
That's what's up, man. That's how you're supposed to keep it, bro. Keep it 100 with your day ones, and you'll be good, man. For real.
100%, bro. Okay, so I'll get you to start by introducing yourself. Of course, I know who you are, but maybe to anybody who's watching that maybe doesn't know who you are, give yourself a brief introduction and kind of your entire story.
Cool, bro. My name is Will Pujols, and I am originally from the Dominican Republic. I moved to New York when I was a very small child with my family, and in New York, things got really crazy. I was born in '87, so early '90s. I lived in the South Side Bronx, and it was freaking wild. Even just going to school, me as a little kid. And then my father decided to like pack up, and we ended up going out to Missouri later on, like in the mid '90s. We went to Missouri, like the Kansas City Independence area, kind of like by the Kansas City Chiefs, right? So I mean, I grew up, around the Kansas City Chiefs stadium, and then a little bit after I moved there, my dad's little brother, which is like my biological cousin, but he's more like my uncle. He moved there. His name's Albert Pujols. A lot of people know who he is from
Yes,
baseball,
sir.
right? Yeah, man. So Albert got there, bro, and we were nobodies. And then like, I mean, I'm talking about my teachers couldn't even pronounce our last name, right? Pujols. Like they would always butcher it because we were just not known whatsoever. There were no Dominicans there. And it was just a whole totally different world. Like I went from living in New York City to living like around cows and stuff like that, being around, nothing but like, people that didn't really look like us or talk like us, right? My English wasn't even there yet. But when Albert came, bro, he was the freaking man in baseball, right? Like the first time that I ever seen him freaking swing the bat, and like he was hitting like these softballs because my parents or my dad and my uncles, they used to play softball, right? He used to play with us, and bro, he made those softballs look like golf balls, bro. Like we would play like against these Mexicans that were out there, and they made this rule where it's like if it's a home run, it's a home run. But for Albert, it would have been a double because every single time that he hit, it was like a double, bro. And then my brother ended up like getting him on the high school baseball team. My brother used to translate for him and stuff. He got him on the high school baseball team, bro. And then it was like, bro, he like skyrocketed in like stardom, right? Ended up
Yeah.
signing with the St. Louis Cardinals. So it's like, we went from like being nobodies to like having someone in our family who's like a superstar, which is freaking crazy. It's like growing up with Hercules, right? And me, for the most part, bro, like, we lived in like not the best neighborhoods or whatever, right? And kind of like your Section 8 type of neighborhoods, lots of crime, stuff like that. And me, I was like stuck between that world and like trying to get where Albert was at, right? Because Albert was still like establishing himself and all of that. And he really wanted to help the family and all that. He could do, he did what he could. But we were, there was a lot of us, bro. Like my dad has like 12 brothers and sisters that were living with my grandma during that time, right? And I was stuck between like that and wanting to be like Albert, right? Because I saw he was like the way out. My dad ended up sending me back to the Dominican Republic. I got really good at baseball down there, and I ended up coming back like my junior senior year. Went back to back district championships with my high school team, and I ended up getting drafted, bro, in 2005 by the St. Louis Cardinals, which was pretty
Yeah.
pretty awesome. It was
Wow.
a probably like one of the milestones in my life, you know, because I made it. I worked really hard too, you know. When I was in the Dominican Republic, bro, like I don't know if you ever heard of how baseball is played in the DR, but bro, it's wicked. You know, like it's every day, nonstop, consistently, you know, from like 9 to 5, bro. So
Mm.
so I honed my skills. I got drafted. When I got drafted, I had gotten knee surgery like right before. So whenever I was playing professional baseball, bro, it was like very hard, obviously, right? Because dudes are throwing like 95, 96. I did what I could, man, but like my knee was like never there, like 100%. So I started doing a whole bunch of stupid shit. Like, you know, I wasn't playing every day, and I started like hanging around like probably like the wrong people because I had money. You know, like they gave me some good money, and
Mm.
I was like in Palm Beach. It's like the first time that I made it to Florida, and everybody was my friend. Like I thought everybody was my friend, anyways, but that's not how it goes, man. Everybody just wanted to basically like use me or whatever. But long story short, man, like my career was cut short. You know, I ended up like going back basically back to the hood, you know, and I was still trying to like get back into the league. Like I didn't want to quit for nothing. And then like crazy stuff happened. You know, I was with my brother one night, and you know, right off of like I was doing baseball lessons, and something happened. My brother ended up getting into like a car wreck. I was there with him, bro, and he got back into the car. And long story short, man, like my brother ended up hitting someone, and like I guess like dude ended up dying, right? And that
Jeez.
was like the lowest part of my life right there, because um you know, obviously that's my brother. I was involved, I was there. I mean, I wasn't charged with anything, but like it hit me just like it hit him. Both, you know, probably mentally and like even with like the people, right? So yeah, man. So I fell on really hard times. You know, I ended up like taking a bunch of prescription drugs because I was at a very low point in my life, man. And I ended up getting involved with like the wrong individuals or whatever. Ended up going to jail for like, you know, some stupid stuff. Just wrong place, wrong time, wrong people. And I got out of there, right? And I got out of there with like a new relationship with God. And once I had that relationship with God, bro, like I ended up having a son too. Like because I had, dude, I had a bunch of girls, right? Like, and I ended up getting one knocked up, and I ended up having a son, and that son ended up like changing my life as well, right? So I got clean, went back to baseball, right? But before I went back to baseball, I was actually rapping. Like when I got out of jail, like because I spent like 10 months in the county jail, right?
Wow.
And yeah, man, and I'm telling you, I had hit rock bottom. I had no money at that time, right? Nobody really wanted to help me because at that point I was just like freaking, you know, probably like the black sheep of the family. Nobody wanted to deal with me. Meanwhile, you know, Albert's like still rising in stardom, and like he probably didn't want to associate himself with me, which I understand 100%, right? But bro, I started rapping, right? Because I was really good at it. And it's something that I was doing, you know, while I was inside. I was writing music, writing music. I got out and I actually started like giving my songs to like other artists at first, right? And then I ended up doing some mixtapes. And then I was invited by Wiz Khalifa's camp, right?
Wow.
And I started opening up for Wiz Khalifa, right? And because I was really good at writing and doing the hip hop, right? So at the end of the day, man, like I hit a crossroads because I had custody of my son. I had a crossroads where I was like, do I want to have my son involved in my hip hop life, or do I want to go back to baseball? So I met someone out in California while I was actually out there to join like the Music Institute. Dude hit me up and he's like, "Will, I know about you. I know about your story. I know that you were a professional baseball player." He's like, I would like for you to come work with me. And he worked at this hitting facility. And when he saw me like teaching the kids and stuff like that, and he saw me play, he was like, "Bro, you need to get back into the game. I don't know what happened before, but you need to get back into the game." So I ended up going to the California Winter League, and I gave it a go again. But it was very hard for me because I was like single with my son, and I had to take my son everywhere with me, or I, had to drop him off with my mom or my sister, and it kind of got like too much for them. So I just ended up opening up my own hit school, right? Like my batting cage, where I would work with kids to teach them baseball. So I did that for like a couple years, and then I ended up going back into like professional baseball, but as a sports agent, right? And a life coach, helping young athletes, especially from the Dominican Republic, to manage them out of the DR. Coming to America, not knowing the language, not knowing how to be a professional and all of that. Like I was there for these guys, and yeah, man. So I was signing contracts with these professional baseball players, and helping them come up, and then COVID hit, bro.
Yeah.
When COVID hit, oh my gosh, like everything, like got messed up with, the world, obviously, but even in baseball, bro, like they cut all of these professional baseball players from all of these minor league teams, and they like cut down all the minor league teams and all of that. So when that happened, man, I was like, shoot, like I was basically out of work because, a lot of my players were cut, even the good ones. And I was like, I definitely gotta, start doing something different. So when that was done, bro, I put a softball league together, like, and that's probably one of the biggest projects that I've ever done. I told you at the start, like my dad and my uncles, they were all softball players. So that's what, like, me and Albert and stuff, we grew up watching that modified softball in particular, not the arc ball. It's more like, it's like the middle of baseball and softball, right? So I put a league together here in Florida, and during COVID, I grew it to like over 300 members. So I did that for like 4 years. I was the president of that league, and then up until like 2021, bro. I didn't really know what was going on outside of like Facebook and the softball league, and then I learned about Andrew Tate, bro, from my son and my nephew, right?
Yeah.
My nephew was like, what color is your Bugatti? I'm like, bro, what are you talking about? Like, well, where you get this from? And he's like, no. He's like, uncle, it's this guy named Andrew Tate. He speaks a lot of truth and all this stuff. And I'm like, man, let me see what you guys are talking about. And then it's funny because, Andrew Tate, like right after I learned about him, he got on these podcasts that I was really familiar with, from, me being a Muslim. He was like on shows like the Dean Show and these other shows. So I got to learn more about him. And I saw like, that he was like interested in Islam. And then I saw that he actually ended up then becoming a Muslim, right? So like right after that, I think that was like in October, like 2022. Like right after that, like 2 months later, then that thing with like Greta happened. And then next thing you know, the police kicked down his door and, all of that stuff. And bro, I was dormant, especially like with my YouTube channel, right? Because I did YouTube on and off, like always, right? And one of the things that I did on YouTube, like when I was younger, was I had a channel for like iPhones, right? Because I've always done iPhone flipping, bro. And the crazy thing is, and I'd like to share with the people like listening right now, is I actually just got done writing a book, about how you can make $1 million doing this, like selling iPhones, right? So yeah, man, that book is coming out soon. It's called $1 Million Apple. But aside from that, bro, like I got back onto YouTube and I started making videos, just like talking about Andrew Tate. And then I joined X when it was still Twitter, and I got on all these Twitter spaces, and I was learning about like his case from people that were like speaking on it and all of that stuff. I started looking more deep into it. And then, bro, it got to the point where I was like, you know what? I want to help out this dude out because I know that like they're targeting him for the things that he's saying, the stuff that he's teaching young men, and the truths that he's speaking. So, I took my skills of like me managing and doing the event stuff, and I ended up creating TateProtest.com, bro. And like that's what kind of like blew me up on X, because I didn't have like any followers on X. And then, I did that. And bro, I put the whole world together, and that's probably how you learned about me.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah. 100%, bro. That's a crazy story. Oh my goodness. And yeah, my park was supposed to host, the Little League World Series?
Yeah.
My park was supposed to host the Canadians, which is the tournament right before the Little League World Series. That was in 2020. So my entire life before this, when I learned that was announced, I was working, grinding, trying to make this team, trying to play for the Little League World Series and the Canadians. And like we had a good chance of making it too. And then COVID came around, kind of killed my dreams for the Little League World Series. But
Man, that sucks, bro.
yeah, no, it really sucks. Like I was working for that for like 4 years straight, and then just like COVID. Like, who would have thought like the pandemic, well, what they say is a pandemic, would come out of nowhere and just like smoke my dreams?
Yeah,
That's
man.
just
I feel
ridiculous.
like that pandemic, I feel like that only happened just so that they could rig the election against Donald Trump,
Mm,
because, I remember back in those days, bro, like everybody was going to vote for Donald Trump again because, especially like here in America, we were living like really good, right? And once that happened, now they could like introduce mail-in ballots or whatever, and that's kind of like how they rigged it was by using COVID. Because if COVID wasn't a thing, then the mail-in ballots would have never been a thing either, right?
mhm.
So I think that that whole COVID thing was about that election, but it just messed up so many people's dreams, especially when it comes to baseball. I know so many dudes that they just stopped playing like during COVID. That's when they stopped their dream, like because of that. And I think that was like totally messed up, man. But you know, God has a plan for everybody, though. So if it's not that, if you don't, you give everything that you can, right, and you never give up. But if there's something like that's out of your control that actually stops you, that's because God has a plan, maybe a different plan for you.
Exactly. In 2020, when we were in pandemic, that's when I started my YouTube channel. And like, if that never happened, brother, I may not even be talking to you right now. I may not be on this climbing this mountain on the internet. So that's crazy.
Bro, you're gonna be big, man. I mean, look, even the people that I'm sure that you haven't had on your stream
Mm,
most likely know who you are right now, which is a good thing.
yeah.
It's all about consistency. Obviously you're really young. You do this long enough, bro. Like you get traction, and you're going to build up a fan base. As long as you stay loyal to your fan base, you show everybody love, and
Mhm.
you just stay, do you, like, be true to you yourself. Don't change up for nobody. You're gonna go big, bro.
I
I believe it.
appreciate that, bro.
Yeah,
100%. Like
man.
everybody that's in here, like I appreciate so much too. Like we even got Zerka Rage in here. He just commented like a bunch of hot themes, like good questions to ask you. Like I already have like 2 pages wrote down, but that's still super helpful, like putting that in there. So
Yeah, for
W
sure,
Zerka
bro.
Rage too. And yeah, W everybody in here. I appreciate you guys are the OGs. I think I did the title wrong on Twitter. Like I changed the title, but for some reason it still says like Needles Sneeko's cameraman on Twitter. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to fix it. I'm so
I'm not.
sorry,
I'm
bro.
not Sneako's cameraman. Everybody,
Yeah,
okay?
disclaimer to everybody, this is Will Pujols, this is not Needles. I have no idea why it wouldn't update. Because it updated on Rumble, it updated on YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, everywhere except for Twitter. So I have no idea why that is.
Yeah, like I'm gonna get on Twitter right now, and I'm gonna see, because I think I might even be live on Twitter. No, I don't think
Yeah,
I am. I don't
I
think
think
I
you
don't think
are.
it's live on mine.
It
Do you
has
think?
your view count. It says 108 people are watching from Will Pujols. So I
Oh,
think you
that's
are live.
wild. Okay, all right. So I mean, that's cool.
We're going viral.
Yeah, man. Whatever I could do for you, bro, because I know that I appreciate you for real, because I know that you're sticking up for like the right people and the right causes and stuff like that. Like right now, the world's like split, right? You got your devilish evil people, the people that won't bring up things like Jeffrey Epstein's client list or P Diddy or anything like that, right? Dudes are super guilty. They would rather go after like the people that are actually like out helping the world and like telling truths and like giving charity and stuff like that, just because they don't want to be on the side of P Diddy and all these other diddlers, right? so so I think I've seen your stuff, bro, and it seems like you're definitely on good terms with the good part of the world. And I seen you get at Nima Yamini, bro. Like
Oh
what's up
my.
with that, man?
Bro, I called him out for botting his views because this guy gets 60,000 views on Rumble and 15 likes. I'm like, bro, I get 500 views and like 25 likes. Like, how do I get more likes than
Whoa.
you? How do I get more likes than you with 500 views? And you're out here, little industry plant, getting 60,000 views, 15 likes. Like, there's no way that's real. They're all botted. And I told him this, and like, he's like, yeah, you know what, Tyson, this is very disrespectful. I think we're finished here. Because like earlier, he followed me on Twitter, and he's like, yeah, we'll do
Yeah.
a podcast when you're a bit bigger. You know what he told me? He said, "Come to me when you have a professional studio." I'm like, "Bro, I'm 16. I've interviewed people. I've interviewed people 10 times your size
That's
over
so
the
whack,
internet,
bro.
and you're telling me, oh, when you're a little bit bigger and you have a professional studio, like fuck out of here." And then he
Yeah,
blocked
bro.
me on Twitter too.
He's so whack, bro. Like
No.
I was actually cool with this guy for I don't know, God knows what reason, but like we met up, we did a little podcast out in Miami, nothing big, you know, just something from my ex channel. And I mean, I believe you 100% that he's most likely botting his views. Like I'm sure that, you know, even his followers on X are paid followers. I'm sure that like the other day he was like on a live stream. Somebody told me that like 5,500 out of the 6,000 people that was on his space were actually bots, right? So you're not the first one to say anything like this, but you know, I was trying to be cool with this guy, man, and I was trying to give him some like advice, right? Because you know, I know a lot of people in the industries, you know, being related to Albert, you can only imagine the people that I've actually been able to encounter in this world. And, you know, some of those people, because I didn't even tell you, bro, but after like I stopped writing music and all of that, I actually started writing movies, right? So I
Oh
literally
wow.
have like a baseball movie that I wrote, and I have like a comedy movie that I wrote, right? And I know Jesse Terrero, Ulises Terrero. Jesse Terrero was like the producer behind 50 Cent when 50 Cent first came out, like with Many Men and all of that. Like he shot all of 50 Cent's videos and stuff like that. And he was the one that shot Soul Plane. He gave Kevin Hart his big break. So I'm telling this dude, I'm like, bro, if you're trying to be a comedian, you need to be funny, number one, and
Yeah.
you need to be on movies. You need to be on movies, or you need to be doing stand up. You can't just show up to people's podcasts like, oh, I'm Nima Yamini, you know, or whatever. And like, bro, he comes back with like the dumbest stuff, like, oh yeah, I got some acting classes from Leonardo DiCaprio's acting coach. I'm like, bro, you are not Leonardo DiCaprio. Like, like you are far from that. You know, like
Yeah.
so I try to give him some advice and stuff like that, but he feels like he's the guy that like he can pay his way up to the top, and it doesn't work that way. Like not in this. You actually have to have talent. You actually have to be funny. You actually have to be charismatic, and your you know your lines and your delivery if you're going to be a comedian anyways. Not what you're doing right now. What you're doing right now is just like interviewing, and you're talking and having conversations with like cool people, that and that's totally fine. But he's trying to be a comedian, right? If you're trying to be a comedian, you have to be funny. Like that's just what it is. So he didn't want to take any advice or anything like that. He wants to pay his way to the top. He wants to like fake all his following and his bot everything or whatever. Like you definitely don't want to be that dude, man. So trust me, he did you a huge favor by blocking you or doing whatever it is that he did, because you're not missing out on anything. And now you see what side he's on, right?
Yeah.
Because he's like he's hating super hard on Andrew Tate right now. So you know he's whack, bro. Whack,
I
whack,
thought
whack.
when I first started following him and he followed me, he was like pro like for the Tates. Like he was like a big supporter of the Tates. I think it's because like Andrew unfollowed him on Twitter. Like one time I saw Andrew Tate unfollowed him, and I think that like snapped him. He's like, oh no, now I'm not getting validation anymore. Now it's time to just siphon all the clout that I can out of the Tate brothers.
Dude is whack, bro. Dude is
Yeah.
whack. Like it's just like, you know, how do you just go from like being cool and like supporting someone, and then the next day you're acting like a Judas, bro. Like that's so whack, you know, like so, you know, you definitely like my advice to you is like if you have friends in your life, the loyal ones, like hold those close, bro, because you can make all the money in the world, right? You can have millions of dollars, but loyalty is something that you cannot buy, man. Like that's something that's God given. You'll have some friends that'll ride or die for you, like all the way. And those are the guys that you want around you all the time, bro. Like I don't know if you ever watched this show. I used to watch it back in the day. It's called Entourage, right? And it's about an actor. He's got a brother that's an actor, is not so good, and then he's got like an entourage of his boys that are like from his like hometown. They're in LA, and like they all like, you know, they all have a role, right? You want to have an entourage of like your homies, bro, like of your day ones, loyal guys. You don't want dudes like this that'll freaking backstab you just because you didn't give them whatever, you know, one day to another, bro. Like it's stupid, like it's dumb,
Yeah. No,
you
it's
know. But
ridiculous.
so yeah, man. So I was talking to you one day. You was like at a baseball tournament or something like that,
Mm-hmm.
and you like struck out a bunch. So what do you put? Are you a pitcher? Is that what you do in baseball?
Pitcher, and then I also play first base too. Then every now and then I'll DH if I'm like hitting well, which is like not super often, but every now and then I'll get into a hot streak.
My
um,
son is playing baseball, bro. My son is playing baseball. He's trying to like follow in the footsteps of my family, and he plays the outfield now. He was playing shortstop, but he plays the outfield. He's a switch hitter, although he's been hitting left-handed or whatever. It's a grind, bro. It's something
yeah.
that baseball is really hard, and that's why I really like baseball because it's a hard sport. It gives you discipline, and for the most part, the people that are in it, like they're all disciplined people, So I still reach out to all my baseball buddies. I still got, friends that I played with whenever I was in the Cardinals that are in the big leagues right now. And, they still show a lot of love and stuff like that. But for the most part, bro, like outside of baseball, this world kind of sucks. I'm not going to lie to you. Like
Yeah.
I've made tons of money outside of baseball, but being on the baseball field is one of my favorite things. And I still play baseball. Like even today, like, I'm like my season is about to come up. I'm getting ready for that. Like I'm in the gym and I'll play baseball until I can't anymore. Like literally. So yeah, man. So I definitely suggest you keep doing that even though you're doing your streams, and then you just never know what happens. You put energy and effort in both, and whatever you make it in, whatever is better for you in the future, then you choose that, man. But one thing I'm going to tell you with the streaming stuff is that a lot of dudes do stuff in these streams that I feel like they're compromising their integrity and stuff like that. So you got to think about that as well, and that's just like a word of advice because, some dudes, I really question everything. Like, I don't know what's scripted and what's not scripted because a lot of dudes do some stupid stuff on these streams. But for the most part, I see all of your streams are like, talking to guys like me, dudes that are older than you that are like mentors and like tell you about their past and their life and stuff like that, which I think is pretty cool, especially for your audience. They can, kind of get into the minds of like the people, who are like established and stuff like that.
100%. And you see people like Neon and Jack Dougherty, like these clowns. They're the type of people I'd say are sacrificing their integrity for views. They're pimping only fans people on their streams. Like, I don't know. I'd say if you stay with like the red pill and like if you stay with God, like you're good. Like just stay with God and stay with the red pill, and like you can't
Yeah.
really go wrong with that.
No, yeah,
Yeah.
no, 100%, 100%. I was just on a live stream, or a Twitter space with Myron Gaines. I had a 24-hour Twitter space the other day when they locked up the Tate brothers again, right? Because Nima had that space and he had it botted like with a bunch of people. I'm like, all right, you're gonna put energy to a space. Don't worry, I got you. So I went hard. I went on a 24 hour space. Bunch of people came in. Myron Gaines came in and kicked it, bro. Like must have been like 1, 2 in the morning, bro. Like it was
Wow.
dope. And I don't agree with everything Myron says, but for the most part, what I do like about Myron is that he's a loyal guy, like to all his friends, which, again, you can't buy that anywhere. Like that's something that like really even can't be taught. Like that's something that people have within their hearts. He's really loyal, and he's had some like really interesting discussions with other people while I've been on his spaces that, I definitely get like the perspective that he's coming from, right? Because bro, like, these girls out here, bro, they're wicked, man.
Yeah.
Like I'm sure you're starting to get a taste of it. You're probably like in your high school age or whatever, man. Like, you're gonna go through a lot, bro.
Yeah,
So
100%.
yeah.
I'd say you just gotta build yourself until you got like high status, and then like you can't really be like messed with,
No, yeah,
Like
man. Like
build yourself into the man.
look, number one, you got to build yourself, man. Like you got to build yourself in terms of like physically, mentally. You have to be really confident. So that means like whatever you're doing, right? Like even like whenever I was playing baseball, like Albert always told me, he was like, bro, you got to be super confident. Like when people say, oh, this is 90% mental, 10% physical, the mental part is confidence. It's 90% confidence and 10% physical, right? So you have to be really confident. That means that, you have to build up your body so that you could feel really good. And then you have to get knowledge of whatever it is that you're doing, right? Whether it's streaming or baseball or whatever, so that you're confident on the field, confident in your work. And then you'll see, bro, like that confidence in like your build and everything, bro, you're going to attract everything to you, right? Like everybody's gonna want to be friends with you. All the women are gonna want to get with you, all the girls or whatever, and then you get to choose who you want to be with, right? But as long as you build yourself up first, bro. And one thing that I would say too is definitely get financial literacy, bro. Like that means listen to because I say listen because I don't like to read that much, right? So
Yeah, me neither.
I listen to audiobooks, right? And I learned like financial stuff like real estate, stocks and all of that. And that's how I ended up becoming, financially free, was from that. Because even when I was playing baseball, I was just waiting for the next check, right? I mean, I was just playing baseball and they were paying me my checks and I keep playing baseball. But see, what happens is that, like, let's say they come and they tell you, hey, look, you got to wear this pride flag or you have to use this pride flag,
Yeah.
on the field and all of that. You're going to have to do it if you only know baseball, right? So you
Mhm.
definitely also want to know like other stuff outside of baseball just in case, right? You can fall back on it, right? I freaking blew my signing bonus. I blew through all my money, but now it's like I can have a little bit of money and I can grow it so quickly because I have financial literacy, right? So that's definitely something that you want to have, especially as a young man. You want to get that knowledge of like finances because it's something that you don't learn in school, right? Like I didn't go to like real estate class in school. I'm sure you probably don't have that in
No.
school or anything like that, right? You don't have stocks or nothing like that. So all of these things you have to learn. And then, for the most part, anytime you make money, even if it's like from streaming and stuff like that, you know how to invest it and you know how to make it grow outside of it. Because like you see even Sneeko, he was making like millions of dollars on YouTube, and then YouTube went away, right? They canceled.
Yeah.
So what is he supposed to do, right? If he has that financial literacy, then he can take that money that he got from YouTube and do other things, right? But yeah, man, that's definitely my advice to someone like you is definitely get that financial literacy down.
Mhm. I think YouTube didn't pay Sneeko too. Like they had $200,000 that they owed Sneeko, and then they just banned him and didn't pay him, which is like insane and probably illegal too. But
They
they
do
still
that,
won't pay
yeah.
him. Yeah.
They do that. I had an account that was canceled by them for like copyright purposes or something like that, and I had at the time I had like 10,000 followers, but I was getting millions of views because I was doing sneaker reviews, right?
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah, I was doing clothing and sneaker reviews, and they have a bunch of my money, bro, and I can't even access the account or anything like that. So it's like, what am I supposed to do? Like it's YouTube, right? Like they, for the most part, are like a part of Google, and those people are super powerful. So it's hard to go against these people. And again, that's why I'm saying like you can't just depend on these things. You have to have financial literacy, bro, because you're gonna make a bunch of money. What are you gonna do with it?
Mm-hmm. 100%, 100%. Here's a good question, my chat here. What are your thoughts on Sneeko and Zerka? Because I know Zerka has been like he's bashed the Tates a lot. I really like Zerka though. That's like the one thing I don't like about Zerka is how he
Bro, am
bashed
I
the Tates.
frozen on your screen?
No, you're good right now. You're good.
Oh, okay, I'm frozen on my screen. But
Okay.
anyways, so my thoughts on Sneeko and Zerka.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, bro, Zerka, I don't even know what to think about Zerka because I don't know when he's playing around. I don't know when he's being serious for the most part. Like he's just like the stuff that comes out of his mouth. I can't take serious whatsoever, right? Like he calls himself the. I don't want to say it on your stream so you don't get banned or nothing like that. Like the Crusader, like the
Yeah, yeah.
the Sea Crusader and all that stuff. Like, bro, I like the fact that, like, if he's a warrior for Jesus and all of that or whatever, okay, that's cool. But don't mix that and then like OnlyFans girls and like all this other like degenerate stuff, right? So
Mhm.
that's what I kind of like get turned off. But Zerka has talent, right? Like he's very talented. I'm not gonna take it away from him. He's got a huge fan base and he knows how to like rile up a crowd and all of that. But if I had to choose one or the other, I would definitely go with Sneeko because Sneeko is like a lot more based. Sneeko is a lot more spiritual, and a lot of the things that Sneeko says, I can resonate with a little bit more, right?
Mhm.
But if they're going at it and stuff like that, I mean, I would probably always take Sneeko's side. Zerka actually blocked me
Whoa.
because, bro, because here's the deal. Like, I think when Zerka first like ran into me, he probably thought I was like some streamer or something like that, because I had a bunch of followers, and we probably had like almost the same count of followers. And he was like, bro, I'll beat your ass. I was like, all right, you want to fight? So I was like, let's do it. So he sends me his location. Mind you, I'm in Miami. He sends me his location. I'm like, all right, bro, I'm on my way. As soon as I told him I was on my way, he blocked me, bro.
Wow.
Yeah, it got really real for Zerka. Yeah, so he's had me blocked for like probably like a year now.
So he just want to fight you for no reason? I feel like it's kind of weird. Like there had to be
No,
something.
he wanted to fight me because, you know, at the time he was like saying a whole bunch of stuff about like Muslims and the Prophet and all this other stuff, you know. And I told him, I was like, bro, you talk a big game, this and that, and like me, bro, I'm real life, you know, like I'm not playing around with these kids, you know, like I'm 36 years old, bro, like. But see, he's in his 30s too. He wants to act like he's a kid, but he's in his 30s. So I was like, bro, you're a grown man. I'll beat your ass, you know. Like if it's like Sneeko or somebody like that, I'm gonna let it go. But Zerka, I was like, nah. He's like, I was like, you want to fight? Let's go. So he sent me his location, bro. And I was about to pull up, and he blocked me. I was like, man, forget this dude, man.
Did you still go to the location just to see, or no?
No, like, I mean, bro, like, I can care less what this dude is talking about. You know what I mean? Like, I just took it as, you know, a dub, because obviously he's afraid, which he should be. You know, I don't know if that fight between him and that one dude was actually real. What's this dude's name? HS Tiki Taki?
Yeah, something like that. Some irrelevant guy.
Bro, HS Tiki Taki, bro, like, you know, knocked him out and all that. So I'm like, bro, if that fight was real, bro, if he comes to me, like, it's over. It's over, bro.
I mean, Zerka, I don't know if you knocked him out.
Anytime you want it, Zerka, let me know, bro. I'm not playing.
I'd love to see. That would actually be that would be a good fight. That'd be. Oh, you just leave? Wait, where did he go? I think you like disconnected or something. I'm gonna invite him back. Oh. Do you get disconnected or something?
Yeah, bro. Like it just disconnected out of nowhere.
That's weird. That's really weird. And you said that you've been like freezing on this too. Maybe this software is just like bugging.
Nah, yeah, man. Somebody on here said, "Can we get a freestyle?"
Yeah, let's see it. Let's see it.
They call me Frico Suave. I grew up on the Ave. Always been a fly boy. Mami, tú lo sabes. Money on command. I'm worth 100 grand. You think I'm not a threat, but your girl think I'm the man. Money over my nigga. You know, I'm not gonna keep going. Yo,
Dude,
it's been a long time. It's been a long time. But bro, like, I actually wrote songs that you guys probably have heard, but I can't, you know, I was ghostwriting, you know, like I signed NDAs.
Dude, that wasn't bad. That wasn't bad though.
No, bro, like I'm telling you, like I had a mixtape. It's called Frico Suave, because that's what they called me. Frico Suave, live from Kush City. And bro, like my raps went hard, and that's how I ended up getting into the ears of, like, you know, Wiz Khalifa's people. And, you know, I would go to these shows, bro. And this is like around the time when Wiz Khalifa wasn't that big, but he was with Amber Rose. Like that was his girlfriend at the time. And his manager, Will Zombach, was the one that invited me to these shows and stuff, bro. But the hip hop industry is crazy, bro. Like it's really crazy. Like that stuff that you guys hear, it's all real, bro. Like that stuff is straight, you know, Illuminati type stuff. So I just couldn't. Yeah, I couldn't be in that world, bro. Like I just couldn't do it. You know what I mean? But yeah, man. But yeah, I miss it. You know, I miss just like, you know, freestyling and rapping and stuff like that. But for the most part, I just don't want to. I don't want to be in that industry anymore. You know, because it's gotten a bad rap, and I know what they do and all that, and I just don't. You know, I don't want to mess with that no more, man.
When you were like in that industry, did you experience anything like satanic? Like, do you believe that's true that like rappers and like musicians sell their souls to the actual?
Oh yeah, absolutely, bro, absolutely. You got to sign an NDA for everything, right? And then I got invited to a party one night. We was at a show in St. Louis, and it was you remember Nelly, like the rapper Nelly?
Yeah, my dad likes him a lot.
Yeah, so Nelly was like, you know, Nelly is like really, really big in there. He's connected to Diddy and all these guys, right? So he had a mansion party, and they're like, you know, his manager comes up to me and he's like, yo, we really want you to come over to the mansion party. The only thing is like, I'm with my group, right? Like my entourage, they're the Fly Boys. Like we're the Fly Boys. We were the New Money Fly Boys, right? That's what our group was called. And I was Frico Suave. And I mean, two of them rapped. Two of them rapped, but I was like the main guy, right? But what I didn't like was that these dudes wanted me to come by myself, bro. They're
Whoa.
like, yeah, they were like, you got to come by yourself. We know that you're with your crew. You got to come by yourself, bro. I had already heard from like other people, you know, what that meant. So I was like, bro, I'm good. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not trying to get into that situation whatsoever, because what they'll do is like they'll bring you into like, let's say like one of these parties or whatever, and when you're there, you're gonna have the pressure because everybody there is gonna be down with whatever they're doing, right? And if you're not down for that, bro, you're just in the wrong spot. Like that's the thing with the music industry is like there's always these doors that you can walk through, but if you walk through those doors, bro, it's like watch out, bro, your soul's about to get got. But if you don't walk through those doors, then they don't really like nobody will ever hear from about you. They won't ever put your raps on the radio. Like they won't make you big or anything like that. Like they'll keep you, you know, in the background. And
Yeah.
and there was a guy, I remember I was at a show, and there was this guy that used to rap with Nelly and them. And at that show, his name was Murphy Lee, and he was a part of the Saint Lunatics, like and that was like Nelly's group, right? And I remember the security guard telling me like bro, you see that guy out there? And he pointed to him. He's like, that's one of Nelly's people, but he can't even come back here no more because I guess he broke the NDA, right? Like he started like speaking truth and stuff like that. So they wouldn't even let him in, bro. You know?
Wow.
I was like, they showed me mad love, and I was always like in because of Albert. You know what I mean? Like, because he's basically a part of all of that or whatever. But yeah, bro, my soul, I got my soul, bro. Like I never wanted to walk through any of those doors, man. And that's why I was like, you know, at that same time, bro, I got my son, right? Like mom took off on him, so I have my son now. So like I really started like thinking about my life. Like, do I really want to be a part of this, or do I want to do something more constructive, something better that my son can actually like grow into? So that's when I decided to get back into like the baseball world or whatever. So there's actually like an article written about me. It was written in California, and it's like mainstream or whatever, about me like getting my second chance in baseball or whatever. But yeah, man, like the music industry, yeah, man, it's wicked, bro. Like these dudes are really doing like some stuff to get to the top, bro. Like
Yeah.
there's no lying about that, man. Like Diddy really wants to party. He wants to party, and he's not the only one. There's other dudes too, man. So yeah, man. Say no to Diddy.
Jeez, bro. Do you think it's the same with sports? Like I've heard things like that too, or like higher up in sports.
Yeah, but I'm not gonna talk about that. I'm
Yeah.
not gonna talk about that. Yeah, I'm not gonna talk about that.
Yeah.
I'm not
Wow.
gonna talk about that. Yeah, that's where I draw the line. Like like the music industry, I'll talk about, but when it comes to sports and that, I'm not. That's where I draw the line, my man.
Fair enough.
I love my life. I'm okay. My kids are still like really little.
Uh-huh. Yeah, wow, that's crazy though. Like it
Yeah,
must
man.
be something if you can't talk about it. That's crazy.
No, yeah, I'm not talking about it. I'm not talking about it. And people can call me whatever, you can say whatever, but that's where I draw the line. And obviously, I still have family that's like in it, so I wouldn't go there, right? But we can talk about whatever else you want, bro.
Holy.
Yeah, man.
Jeez.
Like Andrew Tate, bro. He's a real one, and that's the reason why I got his back, right? Because I've been exposed to the world that we were just talking about. And Andrew is one of those people that have also said no to Diddy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like when you say no to Diddy, things are gonna come to you the way that they came at Andrew. And bro, remember when I told you that I did 10 months like in the county? It was bullshit, bro. Like I didn't do nothing at all. Like matter of fact, whenever I ended up getting like my case files, there were literally like fake names in that shit, bro. And I was supposedly facing 15 to 30 years, and I got out. You know what I mean? I got out of that. But I see the same thing going on with Andrew Tate. And the reason why that happened to me specifically, whenever they threw that case at me, was because I was running my mouth, bro. You know what I mean? And that's why, like, there's some things now I won't even talk about, bro, because I'm good. You know what I mean? I'd rather just like defend other people, help other people out or whatever. But like stuff like that, I just, I'm not gonna put myself in
Right.
that bad predicament too. Like, let's help Andrew and Tristan out and keep me cool.
Yeah.
Because they'll come after me. And these dudes,
Yeah.
bro, like all of them dudes that you've seen that are like going after the Tate brothers, like all of these guys started slandering me and started saying like crazy stuff about me, right? Because they saw that I was trying to help out Andrew. But the truth is on my side. I have nothing to hide, bro. I'm not a felon or anything like that. So at the end of the day, I'm gonna keep speaking, truth in terms of like, the things that have nothing to do with sports, right?
Mhm.
I'm gonna talk about it. So at the end of the day, man, it is what it is, man. I'm
Mhm.
gonna, like, they told me, they were like, well, what if they were actually guilty? Like, what if these women are like, there's real victims or whatever? Look, I haven't seen it yet. I haven't seen it yet. Like, if you guys can actually show me like proof of whatever it is that they're being charged with, like actual proof, not these videos from like 10, 12 years ago of, Andrew selling courses and shit like that. Like, bro, that's so
Mhm.
stupid, bro. Like, let me ask you something, Tyson. Do you
Mhm.
think Andrew Tate is that freaking stupid that if he was actually committing crimes, like knowingly committing crimes, you think he would be fucking talking about it on camera? Of course not,
Yeah,
bro.
no, no.
Like, come on, man. He's on multiple podcasts saying whatever, bro. Most of it is entertainment. Most of it is bravado in terms of like, exaggerating and shit just to make shit sound juicier or whatever. But like these dudes, they don't get it and they don't care. The main objective for a lot of those type of people is to like bring down Andrew Tate and Tristan because they're against Israel, they're against the genocide, they're just against that evil side. You know what I mean? They're
Mhm.
against the Jeffrey Epstein type of people or whatever. And the funny thing is like, the BBC has came after them. And then dudes from the BBC that work in the BBC are like charged with like real crazy stuff and they don't say nothing about it, right? And
Yeah.
they actually have proof of that too. Versus they'll say stuff like, "Oh yeah, there's these victims out there that the Tate brothers, where are they at?" Like what, like
Mhm.
bro, I have never seen a woman on TV like saying, "Oh, he did this, he did that." Meanwhile, like people like P Diddy and like Jeffrey Epstein, and all these people, there's always women. Like everybody knows who they are. They're out there speaking. They're out there doing this stuff, bro. These people are just playing games, man, and it's fucked up because they just took all their cars again. You know.
Yeah. That's
So
ridiculous, bro. No, it
yeah,
really
man.
is. And I keep saying this too. I think it's because they speak to the youth. Like, I don't think Andrew Tate and Tristan Tate would be in this much trouble if they weren't literally waking up the youth. And I always say this, Andrew and Tristan Tate have done more for like the right-wing conservative movement than any other person ever has. Like, they have woken up more 16-year-olds and like teenagers. Like, you know how many teenagers like myself now are like becoming based because they saw Andrew Tate on TikTok? Like, so many, so underestimated. It's almost become cool now to be like conservative, and that's thanks to the Tates. So I think that's the reason why they're getting arrested because they speak to the young kids.
No, definitely, definitely. I mean, look, I was worried, even for like my children, because bro, if you turn on Netflix, bro, like you can't get past 2 episodes of any show or anything without there being some fruity stuff on there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like, it's one thing adults are doing this stuff or watching it or consuming it, but they're bringing this stuff into the schools. They're doing this like all in people's faces, bro. Like I've seen some like parades where these dudes are like walking around naked in front of children, bro. And I don't think that that's cool. Like I think that's messed up. I think that is what needs to be tackled instead of like, trying to speak out for some random women nobody knows, these quote unquote victims and all of that. That let me tell you something, Tyson. A lot of these chicks like that are on OnlyFans, like they're doing OnlyFans and all that type of stuff because they want to, right? And the funny thing is like this like if you go on Facebook, you will literally see like companies promoting like these OnlyFans businesses of these managers. They tell women like, hey, we can manage your OnlyFans and you can, make a whole bunch of money and stuff like that. Like that's messed up, bro. Like I
Mhm.
find that to be messed up, right? So it's like you're gonna charge these dudes for basically doing stuff that's legal versus like the trans agenda, all that stuff in schools, in front of kids, and they're these liberals are okay with that, right? And in terms of like the conservatives, like, you know, I come from that world. You know, I voted for Trump 2016, 2020, and I immediately saw that Andrew was like a Trump fan, like he was cool with you know, Trump's son, and like, and I saw it, and I immediately saw it like this is a political hit job. Because if Andrew Tate is telling all these 18, 19, 20-year-old kids to go out there and vote for Donald Trump, bro, they hate that. Like, they want to ruin anybody's credibility that's speaking out for Trump. Obviously, look what Trump has gone through himself, right? In terms of like being indicted for all of these stupid ass cases, or like the assassination attempt and all of that. Like, all of that stuff, bro, is to like ruin Trump. So anybody that goes and backs Trump is going to be a target. Like, that's what it is, man. So it's good that you and your buddies, you know, have that conservative mind, because if not, bro, you'd be on TikTok dancing right now with blue hair, not knowing what gender you are.
Yeah. No, 100%, bro. 100%. What was it like when you got followed by Andrew and Tristan Tate? Because I saw you're followed by both of them. I'm not sure if you talked to them personally or not, but I remember when Tristan Tate followed me, I was like jumping up and down. I'm like, holy smokes, like there's no way Tristan Tate follows me. So it must have been really cool to get both of the brothers following you. And then, of course, I believe that you have spoke to them individually too, haven't you?
Oh yeah, for sure. Like I'm a lot closer to Andrew than I am to Tristan, but I've talked to both. But like Andrew, that's my boy. As soon as he got out of jail, like he hit me up because he was like, bro, he learned about the protests that I was doing. Like, obviously everybody told him, like, bro, there's this guy named, you know, Will Pujols. He called himself the conservative Muslim. You know, he freaking did this. So bro, he hit me up, man, and he's like, bro, he basically told me like I'm indebted to you for life, like you're my boy, you know what I mean? Like, so we ended up like striking a relationship, bro, and that's my boy. Like I know him now personally, so like knowing him now and knowing everything about his case, I put that together, bro, and I really like 1,000,000% feel that these guys are innocent because, bro, they're cool guys, bro. Like, they're really down to earth, really humble. They don't like have nothing to hide, which I really like that, man. And like the fact that they'll like follow like normies, you know, like people that are like not on their level whatsoever will tell you how humble they are because, bro, like people that I know from like the industries, these people are complete assholes, man. Like they act like, you know, everybody else is basically like a parasite or something like that. You know, so these guys are real down to earth. They're true speakers, right? And the amount of charity and everything that they do, bro, like shout out to Hassan Shibli. He's one of our like close people as well. They've helped him with so much charity work over like in Palestine and like the war-torn countries out there in the Middle East and stuff like that, kids that are like going hungry, that it's like, bro, you know, if these dudes were like evil people, bro, they wouldn't even think about like poor children or nothing like that, you know. And this is stuff that they've been doing even before they got like really, really big. But yeah, man. But no, Andrew, man, that's my G right there, bro. Like, and Tristan too, bro. They're cool, bro. They're cool, like, you know. And they'll listen to me and they'll take advice from me and vice versa. If they ever have any advice for me, they tell me, I'll listen to it. But yeah, man, they're real down to earth, man. Real cool people, bro.
For sure. What would your advice be for me to get Andrew on my podcast? Because of course, I'm not sure if you've heard, Tristan Tate told me when I reach 100,000 followers on Rumble, he'll do my podcast. I don't know if Andrew will be like 200,000 followers or if he'll be like, screw you, Tristan, I'll do it before you. Like, I don't know, but that's been one of my biggest goals is to get the Tate Bros on my podcast.
Well, definitely reach the age of 18 so that, you know, someone doesn't say they human trafficked you onto their podcast.
Yeah.
Yo, these people are such clowns, man. But I don't know, man. I don't know. Like, at the end of the day, I've seen Andrew do podcasts with people who didn't even have 3,000 followers. Obviously, they were also from, I think, the crypto world, right? But I don't know, man. I really don't know. Like, Andrew is the type of person that he is going to do what he feels like doing, and I don't think that he's actually looking at following or anything like that. I think he's just, you know, he's like the guy of the moment. Like, if you fit into whatever it is that he's doing during that time, it seems like he'll do podcasts with those certain individuals. So I don't know, man. Like, I think it would be a really cool podcast for you to do with Andrew. And I'll send him this one. He might be watching right now, but you know, because I know he knows he's got the notifications on when I tweet, because my tweets go, bro. But But it would be really cool for him to have you on, because I would love for people to see what kind of impact he's had on the youth. Because, bro, I know it's a lot of you guys, man, like that, like from your age group, you're like my son's age. That, bro, that you guys rock with Andrew, bro, because he's helped you guys out a lot, and I understand
Mhm.
that, and I really got to understand that when I was learning about Andrew, right? When I was doing Tate protests, a lot of people sent me testimonials saying, you know, like how Andrew like helped them from depression, or they helped them with like an ex-girlfriend, or like to
Yeah.
get past the breakup and all of this stuff, bro. Like the messages that I got were like very overwhelming because there were so many. But for the most part, bro, it was like a lot of young people who really wanted to you know, shout them out and like let the world know that they're actually helping them out. So a podcast with you, I think would do them like really good, because you know, you could bring that perspective of like, you know, the youth and all of that. But like I said, you know, they got to be
Yeah.
careful with everything, right? Because they're being
Yeah.
charged and fucking all these accusations and all that. They're all over the place. You know, it's just stupid, man. Just a bunch of
Yeah.
stupid stuff, man. But I would like to see it though, straight up.
Mhm.
And you
Yeah.
know, if it ever like if they was to ever ask me, like I would be like, yeah, man, Tyson's fucking, he's the shit, bro.
I appreciate that, bro. Yeah, that's my biggest angle I want to take is like the impact that they've had on the youth. I want to ask them, how do they feel about the fact that they've literally been banned in schools? Like, if you mention the name Andrew Tate in a high school, the teacher, if they overhear you, 99% chance you're like some angry feminist or some
That's
angry guy
crazy.
feminist, and they're going to shut you down just for saying the name Andrew Tate. So I want to
That's
talk to them.
crazy, bro.
It is crazy, bro.
That's
Like, you can't
crazy. You
even,
could probably talk about P Diddy and play all of P Diddy's tracks, but you can't say
yeah.
Andrew Tate. Like that's crazy, man. Like it's a whole totally different world than when I was in high school and I grew up and all of that, man. But one thing that I do like is that I feel like with X, we're actually getting like real free speech.
Mhm.
So we're able to say some of the things that we used to say back in the day. You know, I'm not gonna say those words on the stream, but
Yeah.
like it's starting to get back to being like a lot more based in the world. And I think it's because of people like Andrew Tate, who
Mhm.
have kind of like opened that up for a lot of other people who are afraid to speak and say certain things. You know, I think we're all just like kind of like following the wave of like, man, these guys, they've said it and they're like taking bullets for us, so let's just keep going ahead and just like, you know, they can't lock everybody up, so let's just keep going ahead and with the wave. As long as these guys aren't telling kids that they can change genders, or that, you know, that they can like, I don't look, man, I don't even want to get to all of that. But as long as they stay base, bro, I'll be behind them like 100%. I mean, even like whatever could happen to them in the future, I'm I'm a loyal dude, man, and I know them well enough to know that they're good people, bro. Like, you know, for real.
100%. The thing is, Twitter isn't perfect though. Like, I was supposed to have somebody on my podcast, Arthur Kwan Lee, and the day before I was supposed to interview him, I go to like send him a DM, or like, yeah, like the day before, and I see that he's banned. And guess what he was banned for? Talking about Israel. So
Oh wow,
yeah, I think that's what it was. I mean, he talked about Israel a lot, and they kind of shut him up. So that could be
dang,
that. It could be
bro.
something else. But yeah, I feel like X still has like old employees, like informants that are like still going around banning people.
Yeah, man. It's you know, I think it's one of those things that they're kind of like trying to weave through it, but for the most part, bro, like X is as base as it gets. Like you can't really say anything anywhere else. I wouldn't even try like face saying anything on Facebook, because Facebook is like for boomers and liberals.
Hmm.
X seems like it's more like conservative, especially since, you know, Elon Musk is on that side. But like all the other platforms, bro, I've kind of abandoned. Like Instagram, I'm not on that much. Facebook, I'm not on that much.
Hmm.
Um, which I think like I'm even like verified on Instagram, but I don't even use that platform. I'll post every now and then or whatever, but that's like more for like the baseball crowd and all that stuff, you know, not for like me speaking truth and like, you know, outing like stuff that should be outed or whatever. But yeah, man, yo, this has been a really good chat though, bro. I don't know how
Hmm.
much time we got left, but
Yeah.
I definitely got to go soon. So
Okay. Yeah, 100%, bro. This has been great. And yeah, no, if Andrew Tate does end up seeing this, like, I'm not sure if you're gonna send it or if he just like sees it organically.
bro,
That would
I'll
be like,
DM it to him, bro. I'll DM it to him, bro. You're a G, bro. I'll DM it to him.
dude.
I'll tell him, yo, Andrew, yo, everybody that was doing tape protests with me, because whenever I built tape protests, right?
Uh-huh.
and I don't know if I explained that well for your audience, but Tate protest was a protest to get Andrew Tate released when he was in jail last year. We had like the whole world about to go to the Romanian embassies, and right before the protest, they let him out
Yeah.
because they didn't
Wow.
want 100,000 G's out there, millions of G's out there in the streets protesting. Right? It's one thing if you got a bunch of fairies and a bunch of dudes that don't know their genders protesting, but the people that follow Andrew Tate know their genders. So they didn't want us all out in the street, so they released them. So I told Andrew, like, this person helped, this person helped, this person helped, this person helped. Mind you, bro, like one of the people that helped me was like probably like an 18-year-old kid. I think he's from Italy.
Mm-hmm.
Andrew Tate went and followed him. Dude has
Yeah.
like maybe like 300 followers. Andrew Tate went and followed him, bro, because
Wow.
that's the type of person that he is, man. So, he looks out for everybody that speaks out because, this is a tough time in their life. This is the fight of their life because they have to fight this propaganda every single day. So trust me, bro, I got you, man. I want to DM him like, yo, bro,
Dude.
watch this. This kid, he's doing big things and is definitely someone you should talk to.
Dude, I really appreciate that. Like, even if I just opened Twitter and saw you followed me, I'd probably jump up and down for like 4 hours. Like, I really look up to him, of course. And that's been a lot of
Yeah.
my platform is like speaking out in defense of him. I've lost a lot of followers. A lot of people in the conservative movement buy into this that he's like some sort of trafficker. Like,
Yeah.
I've lost followers defending Tate, like not a lot. But like, yeah, no, that's always been part of my platform is like the Tates are free the Tates, and they've had a very positive impact on kids my age.
Just always remember, bro, like it's not even about the quantity, it's the quality, right? The quality of people that will speak out for you. Like when you see people like Tucker Carlson, Elon Musk, and these people who are like really high up there, and they're basically vouching for the Tates whenever they give them a platform, right? Because giving somebody a platform, like if they were really like those guys that the media and all these people are trying to say, like these guys wouldn't platform him, you
Mhm.
know? So that right there, like even told me earlier on, whenever I was doing Tate protests, like, damn, Tucker Carlson is going to bat for them, Candace
Mhm.
Owens and all these people, like, that right there told me like, and these are base conservatives and these are like people from the conservative movement who are really respected. So I was like, it only made sense that, these dudes have to be freaking innocent, bro.
Mhm.
Cause I know, if I was them, I would be looking into everything. Like I would have a team of people looking into all the evidence and saying, hey, bro, is this guy guilty or is he not? Because I don't want to, go to bat for him. So he's got a
Mhm.
lot of people who are like really good people behind him. And, I so happen to be one of those people, bro. So I got you,
Mhm.
man. I got you.
Dude.
Trust me, man. I'm gonna send it over to Andrew as soon as we done.
Dude, I really appreciate that, man. Thank you so much. And yeah,
Yeah,
you
man.
said that you have to go soon, so I won't keep you much longer. This has been a really great interview. Like I genuinely enjoyed this. This has been awesome. For the people watching at home, where could they find your platforms?
Bro, so they can follow me at Will Pujols. They can also go to willpujols.com. I mean, my name is written right there on the screen. So you go to willpujols.com and it'll take you to like my YouTube channel. I just started a YouTube channel not too long ago and it's about financial literacy. So if you like want to learn how to like make money, definitely follow me on YouTube. But at the same time, my website will be like the source of everything, and that's where I'm gonna have my book. Like I'm gonna release my book. It's called $1,000,000 Apple, and it'll teach even like a young guy like you, because I started when I was really young, flipping phones, and it'll teach you, bro, how to make $1,000,000 selling iPhones, bro. So and I wanted to do that for the youth one time, bro. So
For
that
sure.
book will be released on there very soon. So yeah, man, that's where they can check me out. They can also go to Instagram at Pujols Baby, right? My last name, Baby. That's one of the nicknames that I got whenever I was in the rap game. They used to call me Pujols Baby because they always are like, this is Albert's baby brother. This is baby brother. So I ended up
Yeah.
going with Pujols Baby. But yeah, man. So yeah, they can follow me there, and that's about it, man. I don't even bother with Facebook, bro. I don't. That's
Yeah.
CIA stuff right there.
Yeah. All right, so I got your YouTube in the comments. So hopefully you guys click that link and go to his YouTube. Am I frozen for you? I'm frozen for me. Like,
Yeah, yeah. But you're good now.
okay.
You're good. You're good.
Okay. So everybody click that link, go sub to his YouTube, go follow him, Will Pujols on Twitter. And Will, this has been an honor and a pleasure to speak to you. So thank you very much.
My G.
God bless you, man. Take care.
You too. God bless.
Yeah, see ya. Folks, that was a really great interview. That is a great guy. Like that dude, talking to Will, super humble, super down to earth. He said he's gonna send my thing to Andrew too. Andrew Tate, if you're watching this, like it would make my year to have you on my podcast. I'm a 16-year-old that's been positively can't even speak, impacted by your content. A lot of my friends have been too. I want to talk to you about the impact that you've had on the youth, and of course, how you're innocent. So definitely come on the podcast if you're seeing this. Shoot me a follow. That would make my year. Tristan told me when I get 100K on Rumble, he'll come on my podcast. So I don't know. Maybe you want to wait until then, or maybe you'll want to come on before that, and then that'll help me get to 100K. Then I'll interview Tristan. Who knows? But God bless you either way. And God bless everybody watching this. God bless you, MC. We got Frosty in here. Alex, yes, I am a Christian. Yes, sir. Rooster, yeah, shout out to everybody. I know I got the title wrong on my Twitter, but it kind of is what it is. Follow me on Twitter, Tyson Hockley, YouTube, Tyson Hockley, Rumble, Tyson Hockley everywhere as we are down here. Take care. God bless you guys. I'll see you in